Hello, welcome to another journey to a prophet's reward. Today, I was in my prayer time and I thought, dear God, there are so many just horrific events happening around in our nation. And I began to think, we need God and a donkey. Now, what in the world does that mean? Why in the world would we need a donkey? Well, I'm going to take you to a couple of points on our map today, and I want to share with you how we on this search are going to find God and a donkey because we need God and a donkey. So, I want to take you to the book of Numbers into a story about Balaam. And for those who may not know about the story, Balaam was on a journey with his donkey. And I am going to read to you our first map point, which might be a little lengthy, but it's in it's in Numbers chapter 22, which is interesting. We're in the year 2022, and the chapter is 22 in Numbers. And I'm actually going to start also at the verse 22. This is our first map point. Then God's anger was aroused because he went. And the angel of the Lord took his stand in the way as an adversary against him. And he was riding on his donkey, and his two servants were with him. Now, the donkey saw the angel of the Lord. The donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand. And the donkey turned aside out of the way and went into the field. So Balaam struck the donkey to turn her back onto the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path between the vineyards, with a wall on this side and a wall on that side. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she pushed herself against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. So he struck her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in the narrow place where there was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she lay down under Balaam. So Balaam's anger was aroused, and he struck the donkey with his staff. Then the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, what have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the donkey, because you have abused me. I wish there were a sword in my hand, for now I would kill you. So the donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey on which you have ridden ever since I became yours to this day? Was I ever disposed to do this to you? And he said, no. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand, and he bowed his head and fell flat on his face. And the angel of the Lord said to him, Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I have come out to stand against you because your way is perverse to me. The donkey saw me and turned aside from me these 3 times. If she had not turned aside from me, surely I would have killed you by now and let her live. And Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, I have sinned, for I did not know you stood in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displeases you, I will turn back. That is our first map point. That map point is Numbers, and I read from verse 22 through the verse 34. But let's go to another map point, because what are we in search of? We are in search of God and a donkey. Our next map point is in the book of Matthew, chapter 21, and it's verses 1 through 11, which say, Now when they drew near Jerusalem and came to Bethphage at the Mount of Olives, then Jesus sent 2 disciples, saying to them, Go into the village opposite you, and immediately you will find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Loose them and bring them to me. And if anyone says anything to you, you shall say, The Lord has need of them, and immediately he will send them. All this was done that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, Tell the daughter of Zion, Behold, your king is coming to you, lowly and sitting on a donkey, a colt, the foal of a donkey. So the disciples went and did as Jesus commanded. They brought the donkey and the colt, laid their clothes on them, and set him on them. And a very great multitude spread their clothes on the road. Others cut down branches from the trees and spread them on the road. Then the multitudes who went before and those who followed cried out, saying, Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest. And when he had come into Jerusalem, all the city was moved, saying, Who is this? So the multitude said, This is Jesus, the prophet from Nazareth of Galilee. We need God and a donkey. In our first map point, the donkey could see into the spirit realm and what was happening from the heavens better than the man. And I would say in today's society, we're not seeing what we should be seeing. We're not seeing the activity of the heavenly realms. We're not even believing or pulling on the heavenly realms in our nation in these times. But the donkey could see what we couldn't see. And then the mercy of God opened the man's eyes after the donkey actually had to open her mouth and speak to him and defend herself. Then God came, the Son of David, God with skin on came, and he came on a donkey. He was celebrated and worshiped and recognized. The people recognized him. The people could see him, and he was on a donkey. We need God and a donkey. Today on our journey, our map points, again, our map points were, well, I don't have them quite right, but if you can see them, map point 1 is from Numbers chapter 22. I actually started at verse 22 and I read to verse 34. So you can add those verses in there. And then the second map point today was Matthew chapter 21, verses 1 through 11. We are in search of God and a donkey because we need to see what we can't see. We need our eyes opened to see from the spiritual realm what God in his heavens is doing, because he is dealing with the perverse things in our society right now. He is sending his angels to stand in the way as adversaries against pushing back the dark, vile things that are happening in our nation. But at the same time, he is being recognized. He is coming to us on a donkey, God with skin on. And he is coming to us. He is going to rescue us out of this whole mess, this chaos, this corruption that is trying to oppress us, trying to destroy us. So today, on our journey to a prophet's reward, let your reward be God and a donkey coming to you, and celebrate him and worship him today. And allow your eyes to be opened where maybe they can't quite see what is happening in the spirit realm, which is the realm that is far more influential over our physical realm. So until the next time, you stay on the righteous path.